All right, guys, today's video is about transhumanism. So I talked to a few people today about that, saying they're going to do a video about transhumanism, and they said, well, what's that? They didn't even know what it is. And I said, well, it's about when you don't know where your biological body ends and the technology begins because you're so integrated. So I want to talk about that and how it's a worldwide initiative by governments and by centralized governments. This is an initiative for the whole world that they want in all of us in order for the whole world to work. It's all the largest companies, all the largest transnational companies in the world coming together. And I found a few videos and excerpts from articles that I want to put together in this video. And the first one is the World Government Summit, and this one was in 2018. So this is one of those videos where it starts off and, you know, it's all about technology, and you've got them at the United Emirates there. And they're saying, okay, well, it's called the World Government Summit, and they're really excited about bringing technology into this world. And they talk about the seventh largest port and combining it with the busiest airport in the world, and how we're going to have automated transport, and seems okay, but it doesn't take long before they start talking about hybrid intelligence. So you've got, they call it HI, and they actually say, and I quote, "We would be able to extend lives using organic nanobots, tiny robots coursing through the bloodstream, repairing cells from the inside, curing disease and fixing genetic mutations." And then it goes on to say, further advancements taken such as brain implants will enable us to upgrade and repair human bodies for both physically and intellectually, thus becoming transhuman.
With the help of nanotechnology, routinely practiced in hospitals, we would be able to extend lives by using organic nanobots, tiny robots coursing through the bloodstream, repairing cells from the inside, curing diseases, and fixing genetic mutations. Further advancements in biotechnology, such as brain implants, would enable us to upgrade and improve human bodies, both physically and intellectually, thus becoming transhuman.
And then it goes into a little bit about, it says the word assimilate. So what it's trying to do is it's trying to become a part of you, and you becoming a part of it, where it starts to learn you and you begin to have an avatar. So it begins to copy your face, and it begins to create reality in its virtual reality. And it says that you're going to become a part of it in this worldwide interface in a global initiative. And it goes as far as to say, dare I say someone. So it's talking about itself as a living interface. And it's not, and they go to so far as it's not an interface that you can take off. It's something that is integrated within you. So you cannot take it off, you cannot sign out, you cannot say, okay, well, I want to turn it off now and realize the real world. It's already in you. So that makes you think, okay, well, do I get one when I'm 18? You know, is it something that I can afford? Or is it basically in there when you're born, you know? And this science innovation is integrated with government bodies worldwide. So everyone's connected to the grid. And then it goes on to say, it says that it gets to know us and how we feel. And then it says this thing from Jerry Maguire, "You complete me." It has another saying there, multiplicity, through this oneness we can achieve great things. It says, humanity will have almost one brain, a collective mind. Now, I don't know, like maybe these people are just crazy by themselves in the United Arab Emirates, and they're basically just, you know, nuts. And so I went onto their website, which is worldgovernmentsummit.org, and I had a look on their sitemap there. And what's the first picture that you see when you come up with? In the backgrounds, the first thing I recognized was the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals map. And I'm like, okay, well, that's funny. I thought as much because, you know. So, and then I scrolled down and I had a look at their partners. And so I scroll down here and I have a look, and what I've got here is United Nations, International Monetary Fund, World Bank, World Economic Forum, World Trade Organization. Scroll down a little bit further. We have Mastercard in there. We have KPMG in there for the tax. A lot of other agents for data and assessments. We've got the media in there, mass media. They've got Bloomberg, CNBC, CNN, Sky News. So the United Nations and the World Health Organization, they want nanobots in your system. And that brings me to another video, also by the World Economic Forum, about what is the fourth industrial revolution. And it starts off by saying, we are wondering what is happening to the world, everything is changing. And then the next quote, it says, the very idea of human beings being as some sort of a natural concept is going to change.
The very idea of human being some sort of natural concept is really going to change.
Our bodies will be so high-tech, we won't be able to really distinguish between what's natural and what's artificial.
It says our bodies will be so high-tech, we won't be able to really distinguish between what's natural and what's artificial. And then a couple of seconds later it says, well, can we get to be superhumans? They talk about biological aging there and a potential for a new renaissance, which means a new birthing. So they're looking at a new zeitgeist happening here, and they're in charge. And it is the fourth industrial revolution wanting transhumanism. So then it's not just about them getting, it's not just about transport, it's not just about them getting bots inside your system. It's also about a new economic model. It says it's not about capitalism or communism, it's a new system, and they're calling it a circular economy, which is more centralized and efficient. They say that their goal is a clean world, and you see Leonardo DiCaprio coming around here, he's the mascot for it, for a worldwide integrated energy grid. Then they talk about job losses to technology, sharing the wealth, new education. Then they talk about augmenting the human body in all sorts of ways, curing paralysis and whatnot, another utopian type of way. But then they start talking about the freedom of thought. And it actually quotes in there, once we can access people's thoughts and emotions and redefining what it means to be human, completely embedded in this world, we have to find a way to lay the foundations for innovations for tomorrow. Also, another video by the World Economic Forum is the 8 predictions of the world for 2030. Now, it's a famous line of, you will own nothing and you will be happy. And this is the video that that shook the world quite a bit. And they've pulled this one as well, but here it is. Now, the first one will be, you own nothing, you'll be happy and you'll rent everything. They talk about how the US will not be the leading superpower, but they have the Chinese flag as the dominant flag there. And they'll say only a handful of countries will dominate. They'll show you that you eat less meat, there's climate change, there's carbon tax. They'll tell you that you're going to go to Mars and look for alien life. Now, that one scares me a bit. The Elon Musk, you're going to go to Mars thing scares me because it's like they're going to herd us all off and go and look for new life. I don't believe them. I think they're herding us off somewhere else. And they also say that the Western values will be tested to their breaking point. So, no more Western values, and does that mean Christianity? I'm not sure. And finally, I want to read out some part of an article also by the World Economic Forum. It's been pulled as well due to some backlash. It's basically written by a WEF journalist who imagined a world in the future for us. As some might include you, it might not, but here it is. So, it's a bit of an article. It says, welcome to 2030, I own nothing, have no privacy, and life has never been better. It says, welcome to the year 2030, welcome to my city, or should I say our city. I don't own anything, I don't own a car, I don't own a house, I don't own any appliances or any clothes. Now, it might seem odd to you, but it makes perfect sense for them. They're in utopia, and they basically love this thing. They say the first communication became digitalized and free to everyone. So this is the first thing that's going to happen. Elon Musk said that the internet's going to be free, and you're only going to be able to get that if you're in the system. So For the people who do not choose to go their way, you can see that the internet, and you can think of Starlink, which connects everything and maybe connects to our brains, and our brains connected to our health. That's going to be free to everyone, but it also takes away a lot of the people who want their own freedoms. It takes away their power. So in a parallel society, which I'll get onto further just down here, that's definitely something that we're going to have to have. We're going to have our own energy grid and our own internet if we don't want to use theirs. And, you know, at some point in your life, you might say, okay, well, I'm okay to use their systems for now, like I'll log in and whatnot, but at some point, whether you're in the system or not, or whether you're for this or not, you're going to say, no, this is too much. And that's why they're teaching our children, because they're going to, you know, feed them. So you have to watch out with your education system. But yeah, basically they're going to take away our power of the internet so they're going to be much smarter than us and much more well-informed, as well as misinformed. Now, further down here it says, in our city we don't pay any rent, using free space whenever we do not need it. My living room is used for business meetings when I'm not there. Once in a while, I'll choose to cook for myself. It's easy, it's necessary. Kitchen equipment is delivered at my door within minutes. And so they have this thing where no one owns anything. It's all free. They don't even have their own house. You know, they basically, you don't own a house. You basically get to live wherever they tell you you're going to live. It's all part of a breakthrough of a circular economy, which is what they all said in the last video, this circular economy. And it talks about, you know, the bots do their shopping for them, and when AI and robots took over so much of our work, we suddenly had time to, you know, be everything they wanted to be. They think that we don't want to work. They're trying to take away our purpose here. And on the next page, this is where I'm concerned, because it says, my biggest concern is about the people who do not live in our city, those who we lost along the way, those who decided that it became all too much, all this technology, those who felt obsolete and useless when robots and AI took over big parts of our jobs, those who got upset with the political system and turned against it. They live different kind of lives outside the city. Some have formed little self-supplying communities. Others just stayed in the empty banded houses of the 19th century villages. Once in a while, I get annoyed about the fact that I have no real privacy. Nowhere can I go and not be registered. I know that somewhere everything I do, think, and dream of is recorded. I just hope nobody will use it against me. Well, of course they will. So then it gets back to, well, what do we do? Because obviously they understand and they've hypothesized that there's going to be self-supplying communities there. For us that didn't agree with it. And it makes me think that, you know, are they going to let us? Is it a parallel society just right next to their society, or are we going to have to be geographically relocated and create our own services out there with our own form of payments and our own financial system, our own doctors, our own internet, our own electricity? Is that what we're going to have to do? Or is there going to be so much death that all these places out there are going to be, everything's going to be free out there because it's going to be abandoned? And are we going to take over that? So that's my video for today. Sooner or later, the system that we're in at the moment is going to be one that we do not want. And I don't care if you're oblivious or if you're in denial or whatnot, they're going this way. And sooner or later, we're going to say no to it because it's just wrong for us generation. For the generation below us, they're going to think this is normal. And so we have to either say no now or we have to say no later, because this is just crazy. And we have to think about what kind of alternate lifestyle or alternate society we're going to have to build. And I think we have to build that now. Thanks, guys.